Welcome everybody, it's Solomon. In this video we are going to be talking about what the soul key is and its possible uses, and the reason I'm talking about this is because the soul key seems pretty darn important to this storyline, reasoning because we've got one at the end of each Easter egg that we've done so far. Now before we actually get into the different ideas and theories, I first want to talk about a couple of things you have to understand any of these theories. And first off is that the soul key is not just soul key, but it's actually soul key parts, and these soul key parts are scattered through different films. Of course you would know this by seeing all the different Easter eggs when you complete them. We also believe that there are only 4 soul key parts in total that we are going to be collecting. The reason why is because all the way back in Zombies of Spaceland there was a guy on Reddit, I don't remember exactly where it was, but if I do remember I'll link it, but he went and posted a thing talking about how the soul key part actually went inside this jar inside the pack punch room. And if we look at the top of this jar, we actually see there's 4 slots in total, so we would also assume that there's 4 soul key parts to put inside those different slots, which would make a lot of sense because if we get one inside Zombies of Spaceland, then get one Rave in the Redwoods, and then DLC 2, DLC 3, then we will have all of them collected by DLC 4, so inside DLC 4 we can do whatever this big thing is building up to, so it makes a lot of sense to do that. So with that out of the way, let's actually get into some of these theories. So the first one I'm going to be talking about is one I really don't think has any ground to really stand on, but and so many people have suggested this in the comments, so I decided to mention it anyways. Also, before I actually get into this, I want to just say if I didn't mention any of your theories for the soul key, go ahead and tell me about them down in the comments. But anyways, back to this first theory. So the first theory is that the soul key are just the souls from the special characters in the map, and by special characters I mean people like David Hasselhoff and Kevin Smith. Now where this theory originated from I'm not exactly sure, but if I had to guess, it's probably because when you kill the slasher, which a lot of people consider to be Kevin, it drops a soul key, so it would make sense that it's his soul, I guess. I think that's where it came from, but this also doesn't imply to Hasselhoff because we're pretty sure that Hasselhoff is still alive after the Easter egg is completed inside Zombies in Spaceland. But why this would really be the case, I'm not entirely sure. One plus to this is that if it is the case, then we'd probably be collecting all these souls by DLC 3, like I said a while ago. So by DLC 4, we could play as all the special characters against Willard. The great fight against Willard, Wyler in DLC 4 would be cool to see, but it just doesn't really make that much sense to me. But anyways, getting to the more of the 2 interesting theories, I really like these 2. I'm not too sure which one I like more, but so the first one I want to get into is this one that actually I thought was pretty face value at first, but then I remember this cipher from Rave in the Redwood. So what the idea is that the soul key parts are our characters' souls. Now it does sound face value, like I said, because it just sounds like, oh yeah, we're collecting our souls, we get our souls back, and then of course if we have all our souls back, we'll fight against Willard, Wyler in DLC 4, but which is kind of the idea. But it gets even more interesting because I don't think we've ever lost our souls in the first place because of this one cipher we got inside Rave in the Redwood. And what the cipher reads is that the soul key guides their damned souls to eternal salvation. So it does sound like our souls never really left, but our souls are damned. But what we are doing is by getting the soul key, we are using it to guide our souls to eternal salvation, exactly like the cipher says. So it makes a lot of sense with the cipher. That's why at first I was looking at this theory, thought it was face value, but with this cipher it makes even more sense because even though our souls are already damned, the soul key could actually save our souls in some sense from these films, and of course we'll probably fight against Willard, Wyler inside DLC 4, which makes a lot of sense. I really can't tell between this theory and the next one which one I like more. I really like these 2 ideas for the storyline, and this next one is that the soul key parts are parts of Willard Wyler's soul. Now I talked about this a lot inside my previous video. Anyways, how the theory goes, I want to just sum it up as fast as I can because like I said I talked about in my previous video, but how the theory goes is that Willard Wyler sold his soul to the devil, or really not the devil but Mephilotes, but it's just hard for me to say Mephilotes because it's not English and stuff, so I'm just going to keep saying devil. So Willard Wyler sold his soul to the devil, and because of this his soul got scattered throughout his own films inside the form of these soul key parts. So exactly what happens is that Willard sent our characters inside the film because he still has some slight influence over his own body, but mainly his soul's all scattered around it, so he doesn't really have any influence. But what Willard Wyler did, he sent us his films to go and collect the parts because it makes sense to do that because these films have already been created, so why are we inside films he already created? It just doesn't make any sense. But anyways, we're going through all his old films which his soul is trapped in, so we're getting parts of his soul and we're collecting them all, and by DLC 3 we'll have his soul completely collected, and of course in DLC 4 we're going to fight with Willard Wyler against Mephilotes. So it's a really cool theory, I really like it, but the other one is super cool too. But anyways, that's about it for this video. Tell me what you guys think about all these different theories. Like I said, those last 2 theories are so cool, I really like them. But if you guys did enjoy this video, go ahead and thumbs up. If you guys want to stay tuned for content similar to this, go ahead and subscribe. But I'm going to go, and I'll will catch you guys on my next video.